Have you ever stood beneath a tree so enormous that it felt less like a plant and more like a natural skyscraper? Across our planet, forests hide giants that have survived storms, fires, and centuries of history. Some rise higher than city buildings, while others spread across areas larger than a football field. Today, we are traveling from the Amazon rainforest to the Pacific Northwest, from Mexico to Australia, and deep into Southeast Asia to discover 7 of the most astonishing giant trees on Earth. Each is remarkable for a different reason: record-breaking height, an enormous trunk, or a canopy that resembles an entire forest. Before we begin, welcome to the channel. If you enjoy discovering the greatest mysteries and natural wonders of our planet, like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Now, let us meet the true giants of nature. Number 7. Red Angelum. Deep inside the Brazilian Amazon grows one of South America's most impressive tree species, the red angelum, scientifically known as Denitzia excelsa. Even in the towering Amazon rainforest, the red angelum stands out. Mature trees commonly reach around 60 to 70 meters, or roughly 200 to 230 feet in height. Their trunks are remarkably straight and powerful, supported at the base by enormous buttress roots spreading across the forest floor. For many years, researchers believed trees of this size represented the upper height limit for the Brazilian Amazon. Then, during aerial surveys of an isolated region in the state of Amapá, scientists detected something extraordinary. Hidden deep inside a difficult-to-reach conservation area was a red angelum measuring approximately 88.5 meters, or nearly 290 feet tall. Its trunk had a circumference of almost 10 meters. Even more surprisingly, the record-breaking tree was not alone. Several other red angelum trees growing in the same area also exceeded 80 meters in height, creating an almost unbelievable collection of tropical giants. Researchers believe ideal soil, plentiful water, and isolation from logging allowed these trees to flourish. That protection is essential. Red angelum timber is highly valued for its strength and durability, making the species vulnerable in regions affected by illegal logging and deforestation. These enormous trees are not merely natural monuments. They store vast amounts of carbon, shelter countless animals, and help support the health of the Amazon rainforest. Number 6. Douglas fir. Next, we travel to the forests of western North America, home to the magnificent Douglas fir. Despite its common name, the Douglas fir is not actually a true fir. Scientifically known as Pseudotsuga menziesii, it is one of the tallest conifer species on Earth, surpassed mainly by the legendary Coast Redwoods. Douglas firs grow across a huge region, extending from British Columbia through Washington and Oregon and into parts of California. Many mature trees reach between 60 and 75 meters, or around 200 to 245 feet tall. However, ancient specimens growing in undisturbed old-growth forests can rise much higher. One of the tallest known living examples is the Dorner fir in Oregon. This colossal tree stands approximately 99.7 meters, or about 327 feet tall, making it higher than many modern city buildings. The cool, wet climate of the Pacific Northwest provides abundant moisture, while the tree's tall, narrow crowns help them compete for sunlight in crowded forests. Douglas firs also play an important ecological role. Their trunks provide shelter and nesting spaces. Their seeds feed birds and small mammals, and fallen trees create valuable habitats on the forest floor. Unfortunately, only a fraction of the largest old-growth Douglas firs remain today, making the protection of ancient forests more important than ever. Number 5. Tule Tree. Our next giant is not famous for its height. Instead, it is celebrated for the astonishing size of its trunk. The Tule Tree, known in Spanish as El Árbol del Tule, grows in the town of Santa Maria del Tule in Oaxaca, Mexico. It belongs to the species Taxodium mucronatum, commonly called the Montezuma cypress, and officially recognized as the national tree of Mexico. This remarkable tree is believed to be well over 1,000 years old, with some estimates placing its age close to 2,000 years. It stands around 42 meters, or approximately 138 feet tall. However, its height is not what truly shocks visitors. Its trunk measures roughly 14 meters in diameter and close to 58 meters around, depending on the measuring method used. Because of these extraordinary dimensions, the Tule tree is often described as having the stoutest trunk of any living tree on Earth. Genetic research supports the idea that this is one ancient individual, not several trees fused together. Its enormous, deeply folded trunk has developed countless unusual shapes over the centuries. Local guides often point out natural formations in the bark that resemble animals, faces, and mythical creatures. With a little imagination, visitors may see lions, elephants, human profiles, and other mysterious figures hidden within the trunk. Standing beside the Tule tree gives visitors an unforgettable sense of scale. A full-grown person appears almost insignificant next to its enormous base. It feels less like an ordinary tree and more like a living cathedral that has silently watched generations of people come and go. Number 4. Tasmanian Oak. At number 4, we travel to Australia to meet the Tasmanian oak. The name Tasmanian oak covers several timber-producing eucalyptus species, including Eucalyptus obliqua, a tall forest tree native to southeastern Australia and Tasmania. Its straight trunk and strong, durable wood are highly valued throughout the region. Tasmanian oak timber is commonly used for furniture, flooring, construction, cabinets, and interior design. But before these trees ever become timber, they can reach truly spectacular proportions in their natural environment. Eucalyptus obliqua commonly grows to around 70 meters, or approximately 230 feet, under favorable conditions. Exceptional specimens have approached 90 meters in height, placing them among the tallest flowering plants found anywhere on Earth. They thrive in cool, moist forests, with long branch-free trunks lifting their crowns high above the surrounding woodland. Like many eucalyptus species, Tasmanian oaks are also closely connected to fire. Some trees can regenerate from protected buds after bushfires, while heat may help release seeds from woody capsules, allowing new growth to begin after the flames have passed. Their combination of enormous height, rapid growth, and resilience makes them true giants of the Australian landscape. If these trees already seem unbelievable, stay with us, because the final 3 become even more extraordinary. And remember to subscribe to the channel for more journeys into Earth's greatest natural wonders. Number 3. Pirangi Cashew Tree. At number 3 is living proof that height is not the only way for a tree to become a giant. The Pirangi Cashew Tree grows near Pirangi do Norte in the Brazilian state of Rio Grande do Norte. Ordinary cashew trees usually reach only around 5 to 12 meters, or 16 to 40 feet tall. This particular tree, however, spread outward until it became one of the largest single trees in the world by canopy area. The Pirangi Cashew Tree covers roughly 8,500 square meters, an area often compared to the size of around 70 ordinary cashew trees growing together. Its outer perimeter extends for hundreds of meters, making it look more like a small woodland than one individual plant. The secret behind its extraordinary size lies in an unusual growth pattern. Instead of growing mainly upward, many of its branches began spreading sideways. As those branches became longer and heavier, their weight caused them to bend downward until they touched the ground. Once they made contact with the soil, new roots began to form. Those rooted branches then started behaving like additional trunks, producing even more branches that repeated the same process. Over time, the tree continued expanding in almost every direction. Visitors seeing it for the first time may believe they are walking through a grove of separate cashew trees. In reality, most of the enormous canopy belongs to one interconnected organism. The Pirangi Cashew Tree is also highly productive. During the fruiting season, it produces thousands of cashews, attracting tourists from around the world. Its bizarre growth pattern has transformed it into both a botanical wonder and one of the most famous natural attractions in northeastern Brazil. Number 2. Tuang Tree. Now we enter the tropical forests of Southeast Asia to discover the Tulang tree, scientifically known as Cumpacia excelsa. Found in Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, and other nearby regions, the tulang is considered one of the tallest tropical tree species on Earth. Most mature specimens reach between 50 and 65 meters, or approximately 165 to 213 feet tall. In the rich rainforests of Borneo, however, some tulang trees rise beyond 80 meters. One record-setting example was measured at approximately 84 meters, or around 276 feet tall. Heavy rainfall, fertile soil, warm temperatures, and intense competition for sunlight all support this extraordinary growth. The Tuang has a smooth, towering trunk and wide buttress roots at its base. Its first major branches may begin extremely high above the ground, making the tree especially attractive to giant honeybees. Colonies of Apis dorsata, commonly known as giant honeybees, frequently build huge hanging honeycombs beneath those elevated branches. A single Tuang tree may support dozens of bee colonies at the same time, creating an incredible sight high above the rainforest floor. For generations, local honey hunters have climbed these trees at night, using traditional ropes and ladders, making the Tuang an important part of regional culture. The trees are also vital to rainforest ecosystems. Their crowns provide shelter, their flowers support insects and pollinators, and their towering trunks form an important part of the upper forest structure. Number 1. Coast Redwood. At number 1 stands the undisputed champion of height, the Coast Redwood. Known scientifically as Sequoia sempervirens, this extraordinary species grows naturally along the foggy Pacific coastline of Northern California and Southern Oregon. Many coast redwoods live for more than 1,000 years, and some may exceed 2,000 years in age. Their astonishing size is made possible by a rare combination of environmental conditions. Heavy winter rainfall provides enormous quantities of water, while thick coastal fog supplies additional moisture during the dry summer months. These trees can even absorb moisture directly through their needles. Many mature coast redwoods rise between 60 and 90 meters, or approximately 200 to 295 feet. However, the tallest known individuals exceed 115 meters, reaching more than 370 feet into the sky. That makes them taller than the Statue of Liberty, and comparable in height to a building with more than 30 floors. To protect the tallest specimens, their exact locations are often kept private. Large numbers of visitors could compact the soil, damage their shallow root systems, and disturb the fragile environment surrounding them. Coast redwoods are also remarkably resilient. Their exceptionally thick bark helps protect them from forest fires, insects, and disease. Even after suffering serious damage, some redwoods can produce new shoots from their roots or from the base of the trunk. Inside an old-growth redwood forest, the air becomes cooler, sunlight falls in narrow beams, and immense trunks vanish into the canopy. It feels less like entering an ordinary forest, and more like stepping into another world. From the enormous trunk of the Tule Tree to the spreading Pirangi Cashew Tree, the towering Tuang of Southeast Asia, and the record-breaking Coast Redwood, each of these giants reveals a different form of natural greatness. They also share one important message. Trees of this size may require hundreds or even thousands of years to grow, yet they can be destroyed in only a few hours. Protecting these giants means protecting wildlife, climate stability, clean water, ancient ecosystems, and an irreplaceable part of humanity's natural heritage. Which of these 7 enormous trees impressed you the most? Would you rather stand beneath the world's tallest redwood, explore the giant canopy of the Pirangi Cashew Tree, or see the incredible trunk of the Tule Tree with your own eyes? Tell us in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey, give the video a like, share it with someone who loves nature, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss our next adventure. Thank you for watching. We will see you again in the next video.